What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It has been exactly 1 year since my last Nissan Frontier top mods video, and I've done a couple things since then, so I want to update you guys and kind of bring it all together because the truck is looking good and I couldn't be more stoked. So if you're new here, this is a 2015 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X, and I've done a lot of mods to it over the past 3 years of ownership. So make sure to subscribe and check out my playlist with all my mods that I've done if you want to see each individual one. And I have some merch that I actually made. I worked really hard on to make some Frontier merch that I think everyone would like. The site just went live, so I'm actually gonna order my sweatshirt when I get home, and I would appreciate it if you guys like the design, if you would buy some. I worked hard on it. I think it turned out pretty sick. It's actually my truck that I put in the picture. I kind of turned it into a cartoon outline kind of thing with like a mountain in the background. But yeah, it took a couple weeks to do that, so just wanted to throw that in there, and I hope you guys enjoy. But if you saw my video 1 year ago, then you could go to this time because you already saw this beginning part. I'm gonna play some of the highlights from that video from a year ago, and I'm gonna update you guys at this time. So the first thing I started with was obviously the stickers, the easiest mod that you could ever do. I think they add a good look to the truck and it makes it distinct, so you know it's mine. Second thing I did, exhaust tip. I think it makes it look a lot better. I don't know if it actually does, but I think it makes it sound better and deeper. Might just be my thinking, I don't know, but it might make it a little deeper. Next thing I did was my tow hitch. For some reason the Pro 4X doesn't come with a tow hitch. I think it really should, because I'm not doing any towing, but a lot of people are. But I added a tow hitch because when I drive on the beach, if I get stuck, I want someone to pull me out from. Right after I bought the tow hitch, I bought a tow hook that goes into the hitch, and that was a good investment. I feel much better if I have to pull anyone out or I have to get pulled out. All right, next thing I did was I blacked out the grill. A lot of people do it with Plasti Dip, but I tried it with the Plasti Dip and it just failed. So I ripped all that off, and I actually put bed liner on it, which I think looks pretty sick. I like the texture of it. And next thing I got was this Gator bed cover, and this was a good investment because it keeps everything safe inside. Now I can keep my surfboards in there when I'm at school or while I'm at work, take all the boys snowboarding. It fits perfectly. This was a good investment. So next thing I did that was the biggest, best mod I've done to my truck is the leveling kit I put on it. This leveling kit, I am so glad I did. It gave the truck a totally different look. Like, it looked good before, but now I think it just made it so much more aggressive, and I'm so glad I did it. It's a 2.5-inch Ready Lift leveling kit. Now, after that, I went on my rust rampage. I saw all the rust under my truck. I don't know how it got there. They sold it to me with all the rust on it, so I put in some work, sanded down everything that was rusted. There was no rust on the frame, good thing. I painted it with rust reformer, painted the rear diff, and then my biggest project that took me months. I remember I was doing it from the cold to the warm to the cold again. I sanded down the whole exhaust system because for some reason it was just bad rust. After I sanded it down, I bought high heat paint and I painted the whole thing. I painted it all myself. It took so long, but I'm glad I did it. It's way more protected now and it looks so much better. That was my longest mod that I've ever done. Next mod I want to talk about is fluid film. I put fluid film on the whole frame and other parts of the truck. I heard that it's really good at keeping rust away, so I gave it a try. After that, I did the blue LED license plate light. It was so cool, and I did research, not like good enough obviously, but I made a video on it and it came out so good. I loved how it looked. Did some more research and turns out it was illegal, so took them out, put the stock ones back in. After that, I fixed my taillight because they sold it to me with a broken taillight, which wasn't a big deal. I just used some crazy glue that you can't even tell. Then I went to work on my taillights. This project took me 8 hours straight. The instructions on the can are just like, it's insane how long you have to wait in between coats. You can't find a single aftermarket taillight anywhere on the internet for the Frontier, so I had to make my own. Masking this off was so crazy how long it took. Honestly, I'm very glad I did it. If you notice, I didn't put any black over where light comes out, so it keeps it legal and it keeps it safe. Inside the truck, I actually wired LED lights throughout the whole inside. I wired it through, like, here's all the wires. You can't see it from up here. It took me so long to do, where all I have to do is reach down and grab this and plug it in. I wasn't gonna pay like $300 for these to be actually installed into my truck. This is actually one of my favorite mods because Everyone always loves them. The final mod that I did before I went up to school is plastic dipping the letters on the back of my truck. This pulled it all together. It was the last thing that was chrome on there, besides the Nissan emblems, which I'll probably do soon. It really pulled the truck together. Very happy how it turned out. All these mods put together. And I'm also happy that I did them all by myself, besides the lift, obviously. But I did pretty much everything myself. I learned so much along the way, and you can't learn it any other way. The experience I got from modding out my truck is very good for the future. So this is part 2. Since then, the first thing I did is change my fog light. I had those fog lights in, as you saw, but a company reached out to me, AUXITO, and they said they wanted me to try their fog lights, and they worked amazing. So I have those in. I use them pretty much whenever I'm like upstate or in a place with not a lot of lights. It really lights up wherever I am, so I'm very happy with those. So after that, I plastic dipped the front and the rear Nissan emblem. That's just adding to the blacked out look. I think it looks amazing. I'm trying to chrome delete this whole truck. I pretty much have. Definitely those two things helped out a lot. So right around my birthday in April, I got a push bar, and I didn't get to install it until like June or July because I was like heavily into coronavirus and everything was closed. This just gave the front of the truck a way more aggressive look. So if you noticed, the lines kind of match up with the front grille. It just makes it look so much more aggressive, and I absolutely love how that turned out. Then this is a kind of small, this is kind of a small thing, but tiny details that make a difference. I'm in this Facebook Nissan Frontier owners group, and someone was making these 4 stickers for the Pro 4X, and they're black. You could get them in a couple colors, but I chose black because I'm blacking out the truck. And it's pretty much just a wrap that goes right over your Pro 4X sticker, and I'm so happy with that. It makes it look even better. So after that, I went ahead and put hooks in the back of my bed. And now you could buy the hooks that go into the Utilitrack system, which are like 50 bucks each. It's very overpriced. So I went to Home Depot and made my own. You can check out that video on the card in the corner. But my dad uses a paddleboard and uses my truck to get it to the water. And he needed another hook in the front of the bed because we already have hooks in the back. And that honestly was a good project for me, and it came out really good. So I'm happy with that. I don't know if you'd call it a mod, but definitely something that I added on that I'm happy about. And now the big thing is my tires. I had the stock tires for the whole time I've owned this truck, and it was time for some new ones because they were pretty much bald. And this I actually did in the past month. I decided that my favorite tires that I wanted was the Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax. And these are pretty much the most aggressive all-terrain tires that I could find, and they look so good. I'm so stoked with how these turned out in the truck. But those are the mods that I've done to my truck so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you found it pretty interesting. Now I just want to go over, like I did in the last video, I want to go over some things that I think I'm going to add in the future. My to-do list keeps getting smaller and my done list keeps getting bigger. So I want to powder coat my wheels because obviously adding on to the black look, I think that would look so sick. I want to get aftermarket headlights. They're not out yet. They are coming out. I think it's called Marimoto is coming out with a pair. I'll put a picture on the screen. They look so sick. I'm going to get those probably next year or the year after. They're pretty expensive, but hopefully I'll get them within the next couple of years. I want to do Raptor grill lights. That's a cheap mod that I just have to figure out the wiring. I need to get floor mats because the stock floor mats just aren't it. And if you guys are subscribed to my channel, you know I do a lot of surfing, snowboarding, and outdoor adventures. I think I'm in great need of some real floor mats. And then one thing I added to this list pretty recently, I want to wrap this. I don't know if anyone's done that. I want to wrap this to match the color of the interior, and I want to wrap this because I just think it would look good having all this wrapped. Maybe even this. I think that would look good. That is it for now, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire. No more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway and cancel the cruise control.